Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is time for my second review for the month of September. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Bad Guys because I recently saw The Bad Guys 2 prior to the previous month because I saw it twice at AMC. And recently I just did a review for Space Jam, which was the first time since June I've reviewed the movie. But this one is from 2022. Actually, it's been 3 years since I saw the movie in theaters. And I'm lucky to have this in my Blu-ray collection, because, yeah, what was I going to say? It was a nice experience watching it in theaters a couple of times, and I got to get it on Blu-ray after enjoying it. I also borrowed this movie from the library before, but I don't think I need to do that now. Because I enjoyed it. Well, I got it at Best Buy. Got it on Blu-ray, so Anyways, now let's see where to begin with this. So we got a group of bad guys led by Mr. Wolf, we have Mr. Shark, who known for making disguises, Mr. Snake. We have Parada, and of course Tenga. The Mrs. Tarantula. So basically, when it comes to this, Mr. Wolf was doing countless heists, and they were most wanted bad guys. But when they get caught, he makes a deal to try to keep them out of prison and try to fool the world believing that go from being bad to good. But, Mr. Wolf tries to impress this one lady. And there's also, they're training onto a mentor, who is the guinea pig. But the guinea pig behind the scenes would have do something evil. Then, they try to steal this diamond, attempt to steal this precious diamond. But then attempt to steal this diamond, because it's heist, it's a crime movie and anime film. But when it comes to Dreamworks movies, Dreamworks usually does use the same type of animation like they did with the previous movies they've done throughout the last decade and so far in this decade. But this one really surprised me pretty good. It's got a 93% popcorn meter and it has 80% Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't say it's certified fresh, but The Bad Guys was enjoyable. It's also based on those novels, the Bad Guys novels that were, especially the sequel. You also have the officer played by Alex Borstein, of Family Guy, where she was voicing Lois. So she was familiar. Because you had this guinea pig. The guinea pig was being the mentor for the bad guys, but until the most disturbing thing about him comes to the surface is being evil. That guinea pig tried to steal from his own charity. Yeah, the guinea pig has evil tricks up his sleeve, because he's a guinea pig. I think there was some fart joke in there too. Because, the animation that the Bad Guys 2 contained was actually pretty was unusual, but I'm glad that DreamWorks took a different approach, mixing 3D animation with 2D animation. DreamWorks hasn't been using 2D animation since the 90s, but I can appreciate DreamWorks for going back into that scene, the 2D days. Because I know Disney's apparently is going back to the paper drawn 2D animation in movies. Because the last time they did was when you put, but that's off topic. Back to this film. Yeah, I've seen the Bad Guys like at least a couple of times, and I wanted to review this so I can understand the movie, to understand the concept of the movie, especially the message. So they try to rejoin society, especially Mr. Wolf wants to impress that. That Fox, that was of course she was in it too. The guinea pig, and then the cat was very funny with the kitty too. The cat was a little cute. Yeah, Mr. Wolf tried to make a deal to keep his friends out of prison, try to regain, trying to rejoin society, being welcomed back into society. Because, he and his friends, they're still criminals, regardless if they try to go back on the good side. But I don't know, DreamWorks. This is one of the few DreamWorks movies to be released by Universal Pictures because of. I think it was 2020? Or no, it was 2019 when DreamWorks and started having their movies be released by Universal. Because the Boss Baby, 20th Century Fox, 2017 worked the last time DreamWorks was under 20th Century Fox, but now they're under Universal as of today. And even some of the movies released by distributed by Paramount's under Universal, regardless. But yeah, The Bad Guys was just one of the biggest surprises from 2022. It was very nice to see the different kind of animation being used because the Kraken, the DreamWorks movie I saw in theaters 2023, yes. And the second Puss in Boots movie had that different animations as well. I also got to see the Wild World by as well. Ruby Gilgan, that wasn't that. Didn't have a good box office run. The Bad Guys was also a box office success. And they've got to make a sequel, which I will be reviewing later today, hopefully. I'm also going to try to review Nobody and Nobody 2, because those movies. Because I saw Nobody 2 in theaters as well. The Bad Guys 2 and Nobody 2 were the only two sequels I got to see prior to last week, and the Nobody 2 was the last movie I got to see in theaters in August. As I already saw Freaky Friday in theaters, that was another sequel, but still, first movie I got to see in theaters in September. But that's again off topic. But personally, I think it's been a good experience watching The Bad Guys. I sure enjoyed the movie because Mr. Wolf and his friends, like in a world with humans, the animals exist too. Try to try to promise to be good guys again, but then they urges of stealing something again may convince him otherwise. But try to outsmart that cop, voiced by Alex Borstein again. But she becomes a commissioner in the sequel. I am not being honest when I do these reviews. I try to. But anyways, sorry, I got this range blanket over here. Yeah, but let's see, the humor. Yeah, a lot of the humor looked pretty funny, because there was that one scene where Mr. Shark dressed up as a woman. They try to steal that trophy too, or that precious gold. I mean, did they? I see what they were going for there. I mean, and Mr. Wolf had to choose the decision to make: stay as a bad guy or try to be a good guy, because like I said, they were criminals because of their history of heists. It's kind of beautiful to see DreamWorks do beautiful animation that DreamWorks has never done before. But like I said, it's the animation was beautiful and took an unusual approach compared to what most most of the movies that DreamWorks has done before prior to, because they've been using it since between Shrek leading up to the previous DreamWorks movie that came out. I think it was the Boss Baby, the second Boss Baby movie, and that Trolls movie. I'm not sure when that Trolls movie was released in theaters, because I think DreamWorks had two released in 2022. This one was. I mean, the Royal Robot came out in So, out of all the movies from DreamWorks I saw in theaters, so let me see. So this is one of the movies I saw in theaters: The Bad Guys, The Bad Guys 2, The Wire Robot, The Ruby Givian. Those are 4 movies from DreamWorks that were animated. Puss in Boots: Last Wish, and also saw the live action How to Train Your Dragon. Live action reboot. That was pretty good because one of the few DreamWorks movies I saw so far this decade. 8 years. Well, let's see. I had a fun time watching The Bad Guys, and now that I have it in my Blu-ray collection, I'm actually proud to have this in my Blu-ray collection as well as on digital, because I have movies anywhere, so I can watch it on there, Fandango Home, Prime Video, or Microsoft Movies and TVs, which, by the way, stopped selling movies and TV shows, which is kind of sad, because after they shut down the Microsoft the 360 marketplace for Xbox. We had Sam Rockwell voicing Mr. Wolf. We had Awkwafina and some other cast members that were not listed. It's very let's see. They don't list the cast member, the voice cast in here, but it also has that exclusive short as well. Yeah, Bad Guys was pretty much an entertaining anime movie, because the DreamWorks has mixed the animation. I also saw Kung Fu Panda 4 in theaters as well. Speaking of that, the animation style was unique. It was pretty cute. And a crime movie in animation form is unusual. And the cast was pretty good, and watching it multiple times, I didn't have a problem with. So I'm gonna give Bad Guys a 4 out of 5. It's a movie that I would personally recommend again and again. I maybe personally did think this was a great movie. This is one of my favorite DreamWorks movies that up there, because I've seen Over the Hedge. Because Over the Hedge was another one of my favorites. It was amazing. It was also recognized by the Annie Awards. And overall, I think The Bad Guys deserve to get another review. So that'll be it for my review for The Bad Guys. I will will try to review The Bad Guys 2 later. If not, I'll always have opportunities to review for Thursday. So I'm going to review it later. I'm also going to try to get that DVD overview for NCIS on there. But anyways, that'll be it. See ya later for Bad Guys 2 review.